वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, text number 9 and 10. यथा गुणास्तु प्रकृतेर् युगपत् क्रमशोऽपि वा बिभर्ते भूरिशस्त्वैकः कुर्वन् कर्माणि जन्मभिः। यथा गुणांस्तु प्रकृतेर् युगपत् क्रमशोऽपि वा बिभर्ति भूरिशस्तु एकः कुर्वन् कर्माणि जन्मभिः। यथा गुणांस्तु प्रकृतेर् युगपत् क्रमशोऽपि वा बिभर्तिर्पुरुषस्त्वैकः कुर्वन् कर्माणि जन्मभिः। यथा गुणांस्तु प्रकृतेर् युगपत् क्रमशोऽपि युगपत् क्रमशोऽपि वा बिभर्ति पुरुषस्त्वैकः कुर्वन् कर्माणि जन्मभिः। यथा गुणांस्तु प्रकृतेर् युगपत् क्रमशोऽपि वा बिभर्ति पुरुषस्त्वैकः कुर्वन् कर्माणि जन्मभिः। यथा गुणांस्तु प्रकृतेर् युगपत् क्रमशोऽपि वा बिभर्ति पुरुषस्त्वैकः कुर्वन् कर्माणि जन्मभिः। यथा, as they are, Gunan demotes of, to, but Prakrite of the material energy, Yugapat simultaneously, Kramashaha gradually, Api also, Va either, Vibharate maintains, Purishaha many forms, Tu but Ekaha the Supreme One, Kurvan acting, Karmani activities, Janmabhihi by incarnations. Translation: the Supreme Personality of a Godhead is one. Whether He alone acts with the modes of material nature or simultaneously expands in many forms or expands consecutively to direct the modes of nature. Vikechikisitam etan me ravitu bhagavan yata shabde brahmani nishnantam parasmishcha bhavan khalu. Kindly clear up all these doubtful inquiries, because you are not only vastly learned in the Vedic literature and self-realized in transcendence, but are also a great devotee of the Lord and are therefore as good as the Supreme Personality of the Godhead. In the Brahma Samhita, it is said that the Supreme Absolute Truth, Govind, the personality of a Godhead, although one without a second, is infallibly expanded by innumerable forms, not different from one another. And although He is the original person, He is still ever young with a permanent youthful energy. He is very difficult to know simply by learning the transcendental science of the Veda, but He is very easily realized by His pure devotee. Advaitam Achyutam Anadi Anantarupam Adyam Purana Purusham Navayogvanam Vedeshu Durlabam Adurlabam Atmarattam Govindam Adi Purusham Dharmam. Lord Brahma, he explains about the Lord and this particular quality of the Lord in Brahma Samhita, and he offers prayers to the Lord Krishna. He starts with Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Karana. In the first verse itself, the whole conception of creation and as well as the difference between material nature and Lord has cleared up by Lord Brahma. Ishvara means the controller, Parama means supreme. And who is supreme controller? Ishvara Parama Krishna. And how is he? Sachidananda Vigraha. His body and he is not different. Sat, full of Sat is eternal, Chit is full of knowledge, and Ananda is a reservoir of pleasure. Vigraha, the form. He is not impersonal or something like a light or Brahmajyoti, but he is the source of Brahmajyoti. Anadir Adir. No one is his beginning, but he is the beginning of everything. And who is he? Govinda. Govinda means who gives pleasure to senses, to Mother Earth and cows. Sarva Karana Karana. And he is the cause of all causes. And then when he explains further, then Prabhupada, what he has written down in this first para, that's the exact translation of that verse, Advaitam Achyutam Anadi Anantarupam Adyam Purana Purusham Navayogvanam. That the absolute truth, Govinda, the personality of God, thou one, Advaita, one without second, is infallible, Achyuta, Anantarupam, expanded by innumerable forms of a different, non-different from him and one another. Although he is original Purusha, Adyam Purana Purusham, and he is still evergreen without permanent youthful energy. Adyam Purana Purusham Navayogvanam. And Vedeshu Durlabham Adurlabham. And he is very difficult to know simply by learning the transcendental science of the Veda. But he is very easily realized by devotees. Atma Bhakta, he is very easily known by his own devotees. Then further it is explained that expansion of a different forms of the Lord as a form as from to from Krishna to Baladev to Sankarshan, from Sankarshan to Vasudev, from Vasudev to Aniruddha, from Aniruddha to Pradyumna, and then again the second Sankarshan, and from him to the Narayan Purushavataras and innumerable other forms which are compared to the constant flowing of the uncountable waves of the river are all one and the same. So here Prabhupada explains about different forms of the Lords. He said there are many Vasudev. From Vasudev, Aniruddha. From Aniruddha, Pradyumna. So from Lord, first comes Balaramji. From Balaramji's there are Chaturvyuhas. This Sankarshan, Vasudev, Aniruddha and Pradyumna, they are called as a Chaturvyuha. From second Sankarshana, then comes Narayana. Then Purushavatar. Who are these Purushavatas? Like these are like Mahavishnu, Garbhodakshayi Vishnu and Shirodakshayi Vishnu. So these are the first Purushavatars. And from Shirodakshayi Vishnu, who is as a Paramatma, he stays in everyone's heart. From him comes different incarnations. All Dashavataras, Leelavataras, Manvantara-avataras, all they are the expansion. And that's why it says how they are and how you can measure them. You can measure them? You can count them? No. Prabhupada has given an example. What he says here? Which are compared to the constant flowing of the innumerable or uncountable waves of the river, flowing river. Even though that wave seems to be different from the river water, but ultimately it gets merged into river water and part of the merged water. So same way, it may seem that they are different personalities, but no, they are the same personality of a Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna. Then further he says, they are like a lamps of equal power which kindle from one lamp to another. That is the transcendental potency of the Lord. Again, Prabhupada has given this statement from Brahma Samhita. Deepa chire vahi dashantaramam vipetya. Deepa yate vivrata samanadhanam. Like on the Diwali day, when you put a series of lamps, what you do? You lit up one lamp first, and then you try to kindle all other lamps. So it's like that. From one became several, but luminosity of them is same. So the Lord Krishna is one. He has many innumerable expansions, and they are having the same potency. The Vedas says that he is so complete that even though the whole complete identity emanates from him, he still remains the same complete whole. Then again, Prabhupada quotes it here from Ishopanishad. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnam Evava Shyate. As such, there is no validity in the material conception of the Lord produced by the mental speculators. Thus, he remains always mystery for the mundane scholar, even if he is vastly learned in the Vedic literature. Vedeshu durlabham adurlabham atmavam. There are scholars, many scholars, they are very much learned into the scriptures, Vedas. They may known as Dashagranthis. Dashagranthis means who knows about 4 Vedas and 6 Upangas, Shadangas. They are known as the Dashagranthis and they are the scholar of Vedas. But still there is no guarantee that after reading all the Vedas and studying them and knowing them, you can able to understand the law. Because he is not understood through knowledge. Na jnanena, na tapasa, not by austerities, na danena, not by giving charities. But how? Bhaktyatu ananya shakyaha. Only by the unalloyed devotion we can know their lordship. Therefore, the Lord is beyond the limit of conception from a mundane learned scholars, philosopher, and scientists. And that's why actually this mundane, so-called scholars and philosophers and scientists who are intellectuals, it's not possible for them to know the Lord so easily. He is easily understandable for the pure devotees because the Lord declares in Bhagavad Gita that after surpassing the stages of knowledge, when one is able to engage in the devotional service of the Lord, then only can one know the true nature of the Lord. One cannot have any clear conception of the Lord or His holy name, form, attributes, pastime, etc., unless one is engaged in His transcendental loving service. Atha Sri Krishna Namadi na bhavet grahyam indriye sevan mukhe jivvadav swayam eva smrati adaha. You can't know the Supreme Personality of a Godhead through your knowledge, through your senses, but you can know Him only by sevan mukhe, by service. By service to Him, or by rendering loving service to Him, you can know the Supreme Personality of the God. This statement of Bhagavad Gita that one must first of all surrender unto the Lord, being freed from all other engagements, means that one must become a pure devotee, unconditional devotee of the Lord. Only then one can know Him by strength of devotional service. Sarva dharmana parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja. By leaving aside all the so-called social or other obligations, if someone takes shelter of the Lord, then it's possible. Maharaj Parikshit admitted in the previous verse that the Lord is inconceivable even for a greatest learned scholars. Why then should he again request Shukadeva Goswami to clarify his insufficient knowledge about the Lord? The reason is clear. Not only was Shukadeva Goswami vastly learned in the Vedic literature, but he was also a great self-realized soul and powerful devotee of the Lord. A powerful devotee of the Lord is, by the grace of Lord, more than the Lord Himself. Is it palatable? Yes. Not only the Lord, but His great devotee also says same. Because sometimes Lord himself comes and he kills the living entity. That living entity may get liberation, may he merge into Lord's existence. But still Lord is not able to give him his own love. But that same sinful person, if he comes in contact with the Lord's devotee has this power to give that person the love of God. Because the devotee, he possesses that love of God, so he can give. That's why it is said here that sometimes the pure devotee of the Lord, by the grace of Lord, more than the Lord himself. The personality of Godhead, Sri Ramachandra, attempted to bridge the Indian Ocean to reach the Iceland of Lanka. Now Prabhupada is giving example to prove that how. But Sri Hanumanji, the unalloyed devotee of the personality of a Godhead, could cross the ocean simply by the jumping over it. The Lord is so merciful upon his pure devotee that he presents his devotee, his beloved devotee, as a more powerful than himself. है ना? उदाहरण दिया ना? The Lord expressed himself to be unable to save Durvasa Muni. Although the Muni was so powerful that he could reach the Lord directly under material conditions. He was, as we have read in previous chapters of this canton, that if someone has to enter to the spiritual world, then how he has to go, how he has to pierce through all these 7 layers of material nature. And lastly, there is ego. When he crosses that ego, then there is a Viraja river. On the bank of Viraja river, he attains his spiritual nature, and then he gets a spiritual body. And then he is, there it is said, then he is become qualified to enter. It's not said that he will enter, but he becomes qualified to enter the kingdom of God. But Durvasa Rishi was so powerful, with the same material body, he went to Vaikuntha. But Durvasa Muni was saved by Maharaj Ambarish, a devotee of the Lord. Therefore, not only is a devotee of the Lord more powerful than the Lord, but also worship of the devotee is considered more effective than the direct worship of the Lord. Mad Bhakta Puja Bhadika. In Padma Puran, Lord Shiva, he narrates the same thing to his wife. He says that Aradhanam hi sarvesham Vishnur Aradhanam param tasmat parataram devi tadiyanam samarchanam. There are 2 kinds of devotees, Tadiya and Madiya. For some devotees, Lord says, they are mine. And some devotees, they said, Lord is ours. So these Tadiyas are more relevant. Because here Lord recognizes them. He says, they are mine. It makes difference, no? Or not? Makes or not? How? He recognizes them. They are mine. Everyone says Lord is ours. Huh? But if Lord says, no, this particular person is mine, then he is identified. So the worship of such a people or such a devotees is more valuable than the direct worship of the Lord. The conclusion is, therefore, that a serious devotee must first approach a spiritual master who not only is well versed in the Vedic literatures, but is also a great devotee with a factual realization of the Lord and his different energies. So here the qualification of spiritual master is explained. Whom we have to approach? Not any Tom, Dick, Harry who just know about the flashy words of the scriptures and can mesmerize with the people's mind. Not with that personality. Here it is said that that person is not well versed only in the Vedas or scriptural knowledge, but is also a great devotee with a factual realization of the God and his different energies. That's more important. And that's why Mahaprabhu says, who can become a guru? Kiba Vipra Kibanyasi Shudra Keno Hoy, Yehi Krishna Tattvaveta Sei Guru hai. The person who knows Krishna Tattva, Vita Tattva, means Tattvataha, means he knows that Krishna is the same, that Brahman, that Paramatma, and that Supreme Personality of a Godhead who is given pleasure to everyone. Who is the source of eternity, who is the source of knowledge, and who is the source of bliss. Evam yo veti tattvataha. And who knows this tattvataha as a fact, as a factual, realized knowledge, that person can deliver you. Without the help of such a devotee spiritual master, one cannot make progress in the transcendental science of the Lord. And a bona fide spiritual master like a Shukadeva Goswami does not speak about the Lord only in the matter of his internal potencies, but also explains of he associates with his external, how he associates with his external potency. See, now it has cleared, at least for me, I don't know about all of you, that why this explanation is given here. Srimad Bhagavatam being a Paramahansa Samhita, where the subject matter of devotion only must have been discussed. But why this nature of material world, this creation, all this thing has explained. Why it has explained? Because if you want to be the devotee of the Lord, then you must know his potencies and how he associates with the material nature. And who knows this, he is known as a Tattvaveta. He knows the Lord Tattvataha as actual. Makes sense? That's why all these explanations has given. The Lord's pastimes in the internal potency are displayed in his activities in Vrindavan. But his external potential works are directed in his features of Karanadakshayi Vishnu, Garbhodakshayi Vishnu, and Kshirodakshayi Vishnu. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti offers his good counsel to the interested Vaishnavas when he says that they should be interested in hearing only about Lord's activities like Rasa Leela, but must be keenly interested in his pastime, in his features of Purushavatas in connection with the Srishti Tattva, creational functions, following the examples of Parikshit, the ideal disciple, and Shukadeva Goswami, the ideal spiritual master. Just Bhagavad Gita means does not only speak about the Vrindavan Leela of the Lord, and that's specifically the Rasa Panchadhyaya. Most of the people who keep Bhagavad Gita, what they want to hear? They want to hear only the Rasa Leelas of the Lord and what he has done in Vrindavan. But Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur was so intimate to their Lordship. Is one among the Manjaris. He says that one must be kept in his pastime, in his features of the Purushavatas in connection with the Srishti Tattva, creational function, following the example of Parikshit Maharaj and the perfect spiritual master as Shukadeva Goswami. They have been on the platform where they only can discuss Rasa Leela. But what they are discussing? Srishti Tattva. Then the creational functions. Sarga, Visarga, and other subject matters. And then ultimately they goes to Ashraya. That whole Ashraya Tattva has explained in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. How Lord gives his shelter. But before taking his shelter, one should know who he is seeing. How he is going to take care of each and every living entity, not only the devotees, but everyone who has existed in this universe and this other. So one should understand this, that if you really want to know about the Lord, then you should take shelter of a spiritual master who is well versed, not only Vedas, but he should have factual realization of the different energies and their relationship with the Lord and his activities related with the material nature. Then it's possible for that person to make you realize the Supreme Personality of the Godhead and his different potencies. It's really wonderful verse and purport. See, here in the verse itself it says that Shabde Brahmani Nishnantaha Param Asmin Cha Bhagavan Khalu Bhavan Khalu. Ki Shabde Brahmani Nishnantam, not only expert in Shabda. Shabda means Vedas. Because they are eternal. This knowledge is eternal. And someone may be very expert in this knowledge. Nishnanta means Nipuna. There is no end for his knowledge. Nishnanta. They are as powerful as the Supreme Personality of the Godhead. And that's why Yudhishthira Maharaj, when he sees Vidurji, who has come to meet them, he offered prayers to Vidura. He says, Bhavadvida Bhagavitas Tirthum Bhuta Swayam Vibhu. Tirthi Kurvante Tirthani Swanta Stena Gadapata. That you are that same person who can make any place or who can turn any place into holy place. Because why? Because you carry that Supreme Personality of a Godhead, Gadadhar, in your heart. And because of that, it becomes very easy for a common man or a living entity to take shelter of their Lord and to realize the presence of their Lordship in everyone's heart. And such a realized person can deliver you the Krishna consciousness or the love of God. Otherwise, it's difficult to attain that. Because you may be the great scholar of the Vedas, or you may be very learned in Vedas, but unless and until you take shelter of the lotus feet of pure devotee, Lord himself says it's not possible for you to know me. He says same thing to Mother Devotee. He gives whole narration about devotional service. In the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, we'll read it. And there he lastly says, okay, this is what I have explained you whole thing about the analytical study of this material world as well as the different varieties of devotional service that living entity can render as per the development of his consciousness. And then he glorifies the association of devotees. There he says that Satam Prasangad Mamavirya Samvido Bhavanti Ritkarna Rasayana Kataha Tad Joshana Dashwa Apavarga Vartamani Shraddha Ratir Bhaktir Anupramesha. My dear mother, you have got this knowledge from me. But if you want to realize this knowledge, then you should hear it from the person who has realized it. And only in his association, it becomes easy for you to develop my devotional service or to progress in the devotional service. Satam Prasangat, only in the association of devotees. When you hear it from them, Mama Virya Samveda, Bhavanti Ritkarna Rasayana Karta, then that same pastimes of mine becomes a elixir, rasayana, which enters through your ear and goes to your heart. And what effect happens then? Tat Josnat. Josnat means Jyoti, light. That enlightens his heart. Ashru means immediately. Apavarga Vartamani. He tries to endeavor to go towards Apavarga. Apavarga means in Devanagari script or Varnamala, they have different bunch of syllables like cha, cha, ja, cha, ga, 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 da, tha, da, da, ta, ta, da. Now then, pa, 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 ma. So this pa, 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 ma is known as a pavarga. Where there is no pavarga, what is this pavarga means? Pa means parishram. When you are taken birth in this material world, you have to work hard like a donkey for your existence. Let's say survival of the fittest. Then fur. What is that fur means? Fane. 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 In Sanskrit they call it fane. Fane means foam. Like you don't drink water and work so hard, then sometimes you see that white foam comes to your mouth. But that more visible when you see the ox or horse. They run a lot. When they are totally get exhausted, you can see the foam coming out of their mouth. So if you render so much of endeavor here, then definitely you are going to get a foam. Then there is another thing that person has to have in this material world, and that is bha. Bha means bhaya. Bhaya means fear. Fear of what? No, ba. First comes ba. Ba means what? Bandhan, bondage. If you do activities, work hard like an animal, that creates so much engagement that you get entangled, bandhan. You get bound to the activities that you have performed. And after getting bound, there is a fear, bhaya, bha. And fear of what? Ma. Ma is mrityu. So this world where we are living right now is known as a pavarga. Pa, 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 ma. And devotee, if you associate with the person, if you associate with the devotee, a pure devotee of the Lord, when you associate with him, then what happens? Apavarga Vartamani. Then he starts thinking about the Apavarga. He starts thinking about going to Apavarga. And what is that Apavarga? Where this Parishrama, Fame, Bandhana, Bhaya, Mrityu is not there. And what we call that place? Vaikuntha. Kuntha means all these 5 things. Kuntha means obstacles. Kuntha means suffering. And Vai means not there. So that's the place where these things are not there. And when you realize this, when you come in association with the devotees, that devotee who knows the nature of this material world as well as the connection of this material with the Lord, and he knows Lord how he is different from all these things. That person, if you come and in association with that person, then what happens? Then he thinks about Vaikuntha, where they don't have this pavarga. It's clear? Pavarga, apavarga vartamani. Shraddha, ratir, bhaktir, anukramesha. When you associate with the devotee, then what happens? Shraddha, it develops faith. And that faith goes to where? Rati. See, for the Rati, they have given a nice example. How one should understand that which stage we have reached. Rati means you get that attachment for the holy name of the Lord or the pastimes of the Lord, that you may hear it from anyone, means any devotee. He may recite properly or may not able to recite it properly. But if you hear the pastimes of the Lord, that itself gives you the same pleasure. And then you overlook about the grammatical mistakes, then pronunciation, or then maybe a swara, matra. You won't care about that. What do you care about? You care about the essence, what has been explained. That stage is known as a rati. And when you associate with the devotees, that stage you develop. Shraddha, rati, and then you attend bhakti. Are you able to get it? We say that we do bhakti. But what bhakti means? When one can attain bhakti? First you should have a faith. Then that faith should be developed. I think I should read that because Rupa Goswami Pad has given very nicely. He says that first is Shraddha. In the Shraddha stage, on that platform, what happens? Sadhaka, he always keeps engaged himself to knowing about the Supreme Personality of a God. And he is enthusiastic to do that. But here, he has to take care of a thing, that his faith should not be, what we say, shaken. It should be strong. When that same faith is developed little bit, then what he thinks about? He thinks about going to associate with the devotees, which is known as the Sadhu Sangha. And when that faith is awakened in his heart and becomes a little bit strong, then he gets a desire to go and get associated with the devotees. And when he hears from these great personalities about the wonderful qualities of the Lord and the wonderful qualities of the devotees, then he desires to develop that same qualities in him. He tries to work on that. Then that stage is known as a nishtha. Sorry. Then to develop that qualities, what he does his bhajan. Means he tries to get purified by performing his bhajan. He tries to work upon the instructions that he has heard from the Mahapurushas or great devotees of the Lord. And he engaged himself in the loving devotional service with a chant hearing about the Lord. And by doing that, what happens? Then there is a anartha nivritti. Whatever anarthas, what do you say in English? Anartha. Anartha means which does not have any meanings in your life, and still you cultivate that. Unnecessary things. They are known as the anarthas. It's not necessary anartha means only a bad thing. Even sometimes good thing also becomes anartha for entering devotional service. If someone is too humanitarian, he also loses taste in devotional service. He cares about the other's body than the soul. So anartha means that each and everything which creates obstacle in developing your Krishna consciousness. So when he gets engaged with a seriousness in the devotional service or in his bhajana kriya, then he gets rid of all the anarthas in his heart. And after anartha nivritti, he gets little bit strong determination. That's known as a nishtha. On this level, Rupa Goswami Pad says that it's very easy to develop a friendship with the devotees, to have a compassion for the living entities, to subdue our own senses, and further he says titiksha and tolerance, and dainya means humility. These things, they get automatically developed. When once this anarthas has gone, then he comes to this stage of nishtha. After nishtha, there is a ruchi. And that ruchi platform, as he has explained, that in this particular stage, he always gets engaged in hearing and chanting of their lordship. And it never creates a ruchi. Means insatiation in his heart regarding hearing and chanting of the holy name. And he never gets bored with that. Sometimes it says, oh, I've chanted now, but I'm bored now. Let me do something else. What the hell is that consciousness that I'm getting bored by chanting? But at the ruchi, it becomes difficult to understand how time has gone, how time has passed. Like for us, chanting a 16 rounds means 2 hours exercise. Mind roams around like anything. It juggles, it takes you back like 20 years back, it takes you 20 years before. You remember all nonsense during the time of japa only. After that, you never get that thoughts, but during japa, you will get all sorts of thoughts. But for the pure devotee who has attended this stage of ruchi, for him like a 8 hours, 10 hours chanting, it's nothing. We have seen some sannyasis when they travel from India to US, it takes minimum 23 hours by any flight. They constantly chant. Generally, we ask them, what do you do? Nothing. Just get that, what they say, put it on the blinder, put it on the eye, and just put that, they gave earplugs also. So, materially also they are giving you facility that you should shut yourself with the material association. Close your eyes, close your ears, and just concentrate on the holy name of the Lord. And there you get a time because no one is disturbing you. They are quite silent there. Maybe there are more than 300, 400 people. No need to tell them that you have to shut your mouth. Everyone is like locked. So it's a perfect place to chant. But what we do, they have given different channels also. Different from kids to adults, everything is given and we mesmerize with that. That's the difference between the devotees and common man. So, after Ruchi, there is called Asakti. When you hear it from the pure devotee about the Lord's holy name and his pastime, then what happened? Shraddha, Ratir, Bhakti, Anutramishati. Directly you get this stage. From first stage, you will directly jump on the 7th and 8th if you associate with the devotees. Otherwise, you have to follow all these 5, 6, 7 stages of the development of your consciousness. So here he says that after Ruchi, there is Asakti, severe attachment to the Lord. And in this particular stage, there is no necessity for you to tell someone about now you should engage your mind. But automatically your mind and intelligence is engaged in that. Ananya cheta satatam yamam smarati nityasha. That's what happens. And for such a person, Lord says, tasyaham sulabha partha. I am easy to achieve. Then after Asakti, there is Rati or Bhava. When that Asakti becomes very strong, then that person changes his mood into Bhava. And this particular stage, he attains that bliss of spiritual life. Or for that person, then everything seems to be everything in relation with the Lord. If you say this Mridanga, immediately he will remember Lord. If you say anything of this material world, he immediately remembers God. Because he was so much engrossed in the thoughts of the Lord that everywhere he is able to see the Lordship. And that's the stage of gopis. When they were looking at a tamala tree, they were thinking, that's Krishna. When they saw the cuckoo bird, they saw, hey, that's Krishna. So whatever they have seen, everything they are reminded of Krishna. That's the stage of bhava. And then after such a stage, on that stage also some may fall down. That's why Upanishad says that Shurasya dhara durgam pathaste. This path of spiritual life on which you have to progress is very difficult. Durgam, very difficult to go, walk around. Then what to do and how to do? You have to take shelter of the pure devotee. Because in the bhava stage also you need association of devotees. Otherwise we have an example of Bharat Maharaj. Maharaj Bharat, at the very young age, he renounced the whole emperorship of this world. He was the emperor of whole world. He left everything. He left his beautiful wife, his son, whole entourage, and he went to the Himalayas. And he started doing his bhajan. And he reached up to the stage of bhava, but there he never had association of pure devotees. And what happened? He associated with the deer, he got attached to the deer, and he fell down. So this path of devotional service is very slippery. You need to be very cautious. And after that strong bhava, with a very determined condition of a mind, where you take an association of devotees constantly, which makes you remember their lordship each and every moment. And that is what called as a ananya, anya, without anything else, only Krishna. What's the another word? Lord says in Bhagavad Gita that unalloyed devotions. That's what makes you to attain the prema. And in this stage, the devotee, he always absorbed, and everywhere he can see the lordship in the conjugal rasa or madhurya rasa. And that's the perfection of our devotional service. And how we can get it? Only by the association of devotees. And what are the qualities of that devotee whom you have to associate with? He must be well versed in Vedic scripture, but what additionally Prabhupada says? He should have a factual realization of the Lord, His potencies, and the Lord's activities with both material and spiritual nature. And here he has explained about two personalities, Parikshit Maharaj himself and Shukadeva Goswami. Parikshit Maharaj resembles a perfect disciple, and Shukadeva Goswami resembles a perfect guru. By such a qualification only will be possible to develop love of God. Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki.